Hi everybody and welcome to this week's Tune In Tuesday. During last week's episode I explained that for the month of September Keep Britain Tidy are running a campaign called Waste Less, Live More, where they're giving out helpful pieces of advice, tips and ideas of simple, sustainable swaps for good we can all make to reduce our reliance on plastics. As a Keep Britain Tidy ambassador myself, I dedicated last week's episode to going through some of my favourite ideas for swaps for good that I've made to reduce my own reliance on plastic. So this week's episode is going to follow the similar theme of finding simple swaps for good, but this week we're going to be making some DIY swaps for good. Did you know that more than 1.2 billion metres of plastic cling film are used across Britain every year? That equates to about 750,000 miles of cling film, enough to go around the circumference of the Earth 30 times over. One of my favourite ideas of avoiding this is getting beeswax wraps. So one of the arguments of using cling film is that it reduces food waste, but these beeswax wraps are just a simple alternative that does the same thing. It preserves and protects your food. So I thought for this week's Tune In Tuesday I would have a go at making my own beeswax wraps. You can just buy them online, but as the campaign is Waste Less, Live More, I thought it would be better for me to try and make my own and show you just how simple it can be. The only thing is though, this isn't going to be a Blue Peter moment as I'm not really that organised, as this is going to be the first time that I've ever had a go at making these. So hopefully I'll be able to show you either how tricky it is or how easy it is. Hopefully it'll be the latter. The first step on any of the instructions that I found online is to get yourself some 100% cotton fabric. But as I'm trying to waste less and live more, I didn't just want to buy this online or go to any old shop and buy some new fabric. So I've decided that I'm going to head down to my local charity shop and see if they've got any pre-loved, second-hand, 100% cotton fabric down there. And also have a route through some of my old clothes that I was going to donate anyway. So wish me luck, let's go see what I can find. Okay, so everything is going really well so far. The trip down to the charity shop was successful. I found this pillowcase which only cost me 50p, and I had a rummage through some of my old clothes and I found this old pair of trousers that I never wear anymore, which I was going to donate anyway, but now I get to upcycle them myself into something really exciting. Both of which are 100% cotton, and I've given them a wash and a dry so they're ready to be turned into my beeswax wraps. So the next step is to cut them into the shapes and sizes that you want your beeswax wraps to be. Now all of the instructions online say that you need to use scissors that have that zigzaggy edge, but as I'm trying to not buy lots of new things for this Tune In Tuesday, and I don't currently own the zigzaggy scissors, I am going to try and use just standard scissors. Hopefully it won't cause the materials to fray too much and it will still work, so let's see how we get on with that. So I've cut out 7 different pieces from the trousers and the pillowcase, all different shapes and sizes. So I've done some bigger ones from the pillowcase, some smaller ones from the trousers. You can see that they're pretty irregular and a bit untidy. I quite like that though. I think it adds to the upcycled look of it. Obviously if you'd like to spend more time on it, making it a bit neater than what I have, making any shapes or sizes that you can possibly think of, then absolutely do. I think that's the whole fun of doing it DIY, is that you can get creative and imaginative and really make it exactly how you'd like it. The best part is I've hardly used any of my material. I've still got lots of the pillowcase and the trousers left. But I thought I didn't want to get ahead of myself because I need to make sure I can actually turn these 7 pieces into beeswax wraps before I start cutting them up anymore. So the next step is I'm going to give them a bit of an iron, and then I can get started on the exciting part of adding the wax to my material. So I've got my fabric all ironed and ready to go, and now for the fun part. So for this section of the video, this is the only point that I've had to buy new things for the preparation of the beeswax wraps. So the first thing that I've had to get is jojoba oil. So I went into the health food shop and asked for jojoba oil because that's how it's spelt, and the person behind the counter looked at me very funny. It is apparently pronounced jojoba oil, but please correct me if I'm wrong. Then I've also got some 100% natural organic beeswax, which has been pelletized into these tiny little pellets. Now these two things you can get in pretty much every local health food shop. If you can't, you can get it online, but there is obviously the associated carbon footprint of that, so please do check your local health food shop for these as well. And the final thing I had to get was grease-proof paper. Now most of you will probably have this in your kitchen drawer already, but you can obviously get it from most supermarkets. So the preparation, all that I've done is I've put down a old towel, and then what I'll do is put a sheet of greaseproof paper down, put a piece of my fabric on top of that, drop some jojoba oil on it, then sprinkle some of the beeswax pellets, then add another sheet of greaseproof paper over the top, and then iron it. Then hopefully it's ready to go. You have to quickly whip off the greaseproof paper, then peel off the beeswax wrap and hang it up to dry. Sounds simple, sounds like I can do it, let's give it a go. But as I said, remember, this isn't a Blue Peter moment, I don't have one that I prepared earlier, so if anything goes wrong, you'll be the first to know. So, the moment of truth. Do the beeswax wraps work? So the idea is you use the heat of your hands to mould the wrap. Yay! So I hope you guys enjoyed watching me make my own DIY beeswax wraps, and hopefully you saw that if I can do it, then it really must be simple and easy to do. So if you do make your own beeswax wraps after watching this video, then please send me pictures and show me what you get up to. If you liked watching me make my own DIY zero waste alternatives, then please comment below because I've got lots more ideas, including how to make your own reusable makeup wipes, dishcloths and stuff like that. As always, any feedback, any comments, put it in the section below, and I'll see you next week for next week's Tune In Tuesday.